Too much sparkles. Too much handsome. Just plain wrong.
Hey, the point of anime is to bring your imagination to life.
But it doesn't mean we can put whatever we want into it. We are all guilty of loving a series that we can put ourselves into. Whether it can take us into a world of demon slaying, hidden villages with ninjas, or treasure hunting, we all want to be a part of the world. I am exceptionally guilty of doing this with shoujo series, even though the targeted demographic is towards preteens and teenage girls, and I have not felt like a teenager for a long time. I do see a lot of people who may have grown out of it but are still very much in love with shoujo series. It's mostly to inhibit the nostalgia that comes with the genre and the need to relive their past. But the reason why we grow out of it is not just because they are no longer relevant. It's the ongoing issue that shoujo is too simple or even too plain at times. The life of a teenager is not just about romance, but is also about the coming of age from a child to something a little bit more. It's about coming into their independence, to friendships, heartbreak, stress, and the realization that life is no longer just about having fun. It's a whole epilogue to their childhood, but also a prelude to being a young adult. There are only a few shoujo series that doesn't bore you with the romance of a boy and a girl. The ones that tell a story far deeper than superficial love are hard to come by. And those are the ones that truly resonate with people. Here are the 5 that I would wholeheartedly recommend to try out to show you that shoujo is not just about sappy love stories. I know it's been hyped on a lot thanks to social media, but the manga and the anime really goes deep into how trauma affects us, causing us to break apart without realizing. And it's not just that. It shows us how we can get through these traumas. Although it won't be easy, it is achievable. I have done a separate video on this, and if you would like to check it out to see what I think about the series more in depth, I can link it in the card above or in the description below. The anime and manga is not complete, but when it does, you will not believe how incredible the series is. Although I am a bit biased as I love all things from this manga author, the series brings forth a story about a princess who was forced to flee from her own kingdom after her father was killed by her childhood friend, who is now crowned emperor. So she goes on an adventure with dragons and slowly uncovers the truth about these mythical creatures and the legend that surrounds them. This series shows how girls are capable of taking up swords and fighting their own battles. It's a battle royale where a girl named Utena meets another girl named Anthe. Together, they fight against other duelists to revolutionize the world. But as the plot moves forward, we learn about each character's identities and their motivations behind their actions. Honestly, this is one of the most memorable shoujo series because it was a magical girl story that took a dark turn and gave it a better storyline than it would have been if it had been your typical Swan Lake fairy tale. It is undeniably one of the better shoujo series out there by showing you there can be more to a simple fairy tale. This one mixed magical girls with mecha and is one of the first few isekai series before it became this oversaturated thing. We see how the girls navigate the new world of magic filled with trials to save a princess from her demise. Despite their differences, the girls learn more about each other and is determined to help the people of this new world with their new powers. Even with the magical girl element, these girls empower themselves, and the series itself has a good world building unlike some of the more recent isekai series. The ones I just mentioned are not the only good shoujo series out there. There is so much more, but I have made a separate video featuring more shoujo series that should be watched in the card above or in the description below. These are highly recommendable since these series focus more on the romantic aspects of life and not just romance. It shows empowerment, trauma, defying gender norms, and even about making difficult decisions. Even though young girls do not have much to worry about at this age, there are things that they will naturally question or even wonder, which is why it's important to have series that emphasizes these points, to show young people the direction they want to go and what their potential future can become. But here's the problem, there is a whole lot of shoujo series that are just no good at all since they lack depth or go too far with the romance. These are the few series that I believe to put shame to the shoujo genre. A love triangle between a vampire hunter, vampire, and a human sounds attractive, right? Until you realize the human girl is actually a vampire, and the vampire she had a crush on is her brother. While the girl knows she's in love with her own brother, she can't help but also be in love with her vampire hunter best friend. This turned out way more complicated than it should have been. This series sends a rather confusing message to viewers. The main character goes through a major transformation and receives positive attitudes toward her new appearance, especially with the opposite gender. So it goes against the idea that, quote-unquote, we should be ourselves and prove that outward appearances are much more important than being true to ourselves. So it begs the question of which one is true, to be ourselves or to be someone else. It seems that bad vampire shows are the main guest of this video because here is yet another show that depicts a vampire male lead being crushed on by a human girl. Main characters are critical role models as they are influential to viewers. Seeing how this female lead never has any character development besides choosing which love interest to stay true to shows there is nothing exciting to show for, thus making shoujo seem like a genre made by cliches and poorly reenacted tropes. We all love a couple with a height difference, but this series took this trope and turned it into something way worse. So it's about a high school girl falling head over heels for a tall, handsome male lead. Sounds like the average shoujo plot, right? That is until he is found to be a 5th grader who physically grew too fast. Worst of all, their relationship continued even after this fact was discovered. And this meant that all the indecent jokes in the series never clicked because all of them was featuring underage children. This one is a tribute to the people who have been watching anime for a long time. An oldie but highly memorable for its toxic main couple. We all experienced a one-sided crush, wanting to capture the interest of our crush even if it means degrading ourselves to loving an emotionless human being. Despite the many things that happen in the series, we are left with undeveloped characters with the emotional intelligence of a rock, where the girl remains hopelessly in love with her crush in spite of the coldness that exudes from him. These are not the only series I consider to be poorly written shoujo series. These are the ones that I found to be a few of the worst ones out there. If there are any other shoujo series you found to be lacking, let me know in the comments. I may sound like I hate shoujo, but it's quite the opposite. I still love it. It's about how some things are meant to change for the better. And unfortunately, many of the shoujo series aren't able to accomplish this. Which is why haters always use the excuse that, oh, it's all about the romance, or that it's too much sparkles, or that it's lazy writing, or even that there's no plot. I do admit that there has been more better shoujo series in the last few years compared to before. Not saying that there will never be another bad series again, but I feel like there are so many good series out there that are pushed aside because of the idea that shoujo is only for teenage girls. I think that it's mainly due to the fact that labels like shoujo, shonen, josei, seinen, and things of that nature put people into certain categories, and we know that we don't only just fit into one box. So it's a matter of what we like, and that the anime industry should make future shoujo series more appealing to other people without losing the core idea that young women should be empowered to pursue their dreams and not be put down by rules of society. Even though classics have their flaws, they are the foundation for many shoujo series today and made many young women into the person they are now. It's also one of the reasons why many of us are still in love with things that are related to shoujo even if we have grown out of it. Anyways, you all should let me know what you think of shoujo series in the last few years and whether they have gotten better compared to the classics. So I'll see you all in the comments or in my next video. Hope you have a good one. Bye!